G'day, Groovers. Beautiful day here in Tassie. It's only 6 degrees Celsius, but check out that sky, right? I just grabbed a coffee and a toasted sandwich from the bakery. I'm sitting outside. This is ASMR, the sounds of toasties. Shit, I hope this live isn't set on private. I had to log out. I had to log back in for some reason. No, she said public. That's all right. There's people there here now. Cool. Hey, Anya. We're going on a road trip to the hardware store. Well, we're actually going on a road trip to Shiploads, which is like a discount store. I mean, not like the reject store. Well, a bit like that, I suppose. Good, mate. How are you? I feel better now. I'm eating some food. I was hungry. Keep making like smoothies in the morning, and they just don't fill me up. They just make me hungry, which is fine. But I was like, I need food so I can do an ASMR. The sound of Tasmanian eating a ham, cheese, and tomato toasty. It's so yummy. G'day, Cody. How you doing, Groover? Oh, it's cold for you, Anya. Brr. Whereabouts are you where it's cold? What country? I thought you were in the US of A. Is it not summer for you, Groovers? Or at least spring? It's only 6 degrees here, but look at the sky and the sun. It's beautiful. We have some advantages being so close to the South Pole. The sun is very bitey. Just cold in Queensland. I'm pleased to hear that. Queenslanders love telling Tasmania how fucking cold we are. Mind you, 6 degrees. It sounds horrific, but it's not. Like I've got a jumper on, I'm wearing a beanie, but I'm not like, there's a lot of trees that are only just starting to turn, red and yellow and orange now. There are sheep that have baby lambs very late in summer, which is awful because they're going to go into winter. These poor little baby lambs. No, everything's confused down here. But days like today, in this part of Tassie where I live, we're far away from Mount Wellington. We're not in the shadow like Hobart is. Hobart gets very, very cold because it's sitting at the base of a mountain that sometimes has snow on top of it. But down here, it's like a little microclimate. We don't have a mountain. I'm so sorry I'm eating while we're driving, but I'm just hungry. I do have something I want to talk about, though. So ham, cheese and tomato toasty ASMR is in your bag. Come back in about 4 minutes. Australia is beautiful, but there's some beautiful parts of the US of A too. I remember, I mean, in the year that I was there, I ended up going to 48 states, which was quite a big effort. Um, I remember driving through parts of the USA that were just breathtaking, especially the northern states, sort of up near Canada, that whole area. Amazing pine forests and lakes and mountains. I mean, I'm in Tasmania, which is the little island at the bottom of Australia. Don't forget, the middle of Australia is a big fucking desert. I suppose it's beauty. It's, it has beauty in its own way, but it is a massive desert. Don't forget to ride in cat skies too. When I get to shiploads, yeah, guess what we all call shiploads. I'll stop and read chat for a little while, but um, I've got to stop at Smokes and Guns first. Not to buy a gun. It's very hard to buy a gun in Australia. Grass is greener. Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, look, I don't want to ever leave Tasmania ever again. I've lived in a few different countries. I've lived in the USA. I've lived in Vietnam. Um, I've lived in nearly every state of Australia. And the ones I haven't lived in, I've explored, but nowhere near. God, I mean, it'd take years to explore every corner of Australia, just like it would the US of A. But this is where I was born and raised, and I eventually moved back here like most Tasmanians do. It's a pretty special part of the world. Cute little island, only 500,000 people, but the same landmass as England, with amazing beaches and mountains and lakes and forests and temperate rainforests, and it's just, hey, Dan Cave. How are you doing? How you doing? So I do have a point to my life, but I figure I'll kick it off when we've been to Guns and Smokes. Um, I want to talk about the culture on YouTube where channels seem to think it's okay to have 5 people against one, which is what I woke up to this morning. And now this is not a criticism of that particular channel. I mean, it's a commentary about a lot of channels that do this. The 5-on-1 is pretty rough. So I want to chat about that because it wasn't a smart move of me to put that on when I was waking up because it was a little bit too screaming banshee for me, and there were a heap of sound effects. It was crazy. But I think if you're going to be a community called the drama community and you want to have all these bitch fights and resolutions and bitch fights and resolutions, whatever, I think you've got to balance the scales of justice a little bit, or the scales of the drama community, and maybe not have 5 people all screaming at the same time to one. And I'm not taking sides on this. Like, I don't I'm not aware of the background that led to this live that I watched. I don't know who's in the right or who's in the wrong. And the way I look at anything is, there's three sides to every story. One side, the other side, and the truth is somewhere in the middle. I'm not here to weigh in on that or adjudicate that because I don't know the story behind it. And if it hadn't have been screaming banshee and people talking over the top of each other, I might have worked out what the fuck was the problem was, but I didn't. But I do think that it's unusual. It is beautiful, isn't it, Dan? I'd love everyone to move here. Life is so good here. It's so easy. It's simple. The people aren't simple, but living here is just simple. We eat locally, we eat seasonally, we're a self-sufficient island. We make incredible produce that is the envy of the world. So many international chefs, people like Nigella Lawson, Heston Blumenthal, they specifically come here to not only eat the food but to also get to cook with it because it's amazing. Very fresh air, very clean water. And so we produce some amazing stuff. The dairy cows are plump and their milk is delicious. The soil is rich, like it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. But I want to take you to other parts of Tassie that will blow your mind. Like, this is pretty, but there's breathtaking, like, so gorgeous you won't believe it's real stuff. There's Lake Lake Sinclair. I'd love to take you guys there. Bay of Fires, Wineglass Bay. So many places on the west coast that are rugged and wild and just insanely beautiful. We've got a national park that is literally called National Park that's full of waterfalls and a temperate rainforest. There's just so many amazing beaches. I mean, I'm lucky enough to live at one of our amazing beaches, but there's just exquisite beaches. The East Coast is beautiful. And then, hey, Morgan, how are you doing? I'm trying to hook this little scammer into do some scam baiting, and I'm going to have triplets, and one of them's called Morgan. Morgan, Scout, and Ruth. They're going to be my triplets, but I think we're at a standoff. I demanded identification. Well, he can't come to the party because he doesn't have any, but, oh, look at those beautiful clouds. I can't see them. You get a panoramic view. All right, I'll be 2 seconds, and then we'll talk about this crazy panel I stumbled onto this morning. Yeah, McDonald's is in Tassie, but it took years for them to get here because back when McDonald's first arrived in Australia, they had to get 6 sites in each state before they could open up stores. And in Tassie, all these businesses kept outbidding them on buildings and sites. So McDonald's only came to Tassie, I could be wrong, but I think it was like 2006, which seems like a long time ago now, but considering it was in Australia in the 80s, it was pretty amazing. Yeah, I'm talking about Trisha Not Trisha's panel this morning. Well, it would have been nighttime for you guys. Not the subject matter, because like I said, they talked all over the top of each other. I had no idea what the issue was, but that wasn't the point I'm going to chat about. I'm going to chat about why it's ridiculous to have 5 people all talking at once at one person. If you've got an issue with them, take your turn. I don't know how so many people were able to watch that. I mean, admittedly, I hadn't even got out of bed. I hadn't had a coffee. Sunny hadn't had a breakfast. It was all a little bit. There's multiple going on about it now too, about what. Hey, Smiley. A lot of people say that. Ireland, England, Wales. But interestingly, a lot of Americans, especially with Hobart, they're like, oh, my God, this reminds me of Seattle. You have Canadians who say it reminds them of Vancouver. You have Japanese tourists who say Hobart reminds them of Osaka. And it's because it's a city with a mountain behind it and a lake or water in front of it. Oh, shit, about that panel. Well, here I was thinking I was original. Damn, I could have just listened to another panel, but I haven't been live for a while. I'll be back in a minute. I'm back. Oh my God, 13 of you. I did leave you all locked in the car. There are 2 lives. Who else is chatting about it, Morgan? Typical Tassie. You can't just run into a shop. Well, I've only got 23% battery, but it is charging. No, I'm not bringing anything nice out of that shop. It's smokes and guns, mate. Well, I don't know what they're chatting about, but are they chatting about how ridiculous it is? And look, TNT's channel is not the first one to do this. This has been something that's happened on YouTube since I've been on YouTube and watching lives. So they might be talking about the actual fight. So BSJ's live and Hello Starlight's live. Because, I mean, that was one thing which I'm not going to weigh in on too much, but I found it interesting when I did jump in there, and I literally lasted 5 minutes because it was it was just too early and I hadn't had coffee. But there was a lot of your friends with BSJ being said, and it's like, but Hello Starlight used to be buddies with him. I remember, because I met Hello Starlight back in the Chris Watts days, I think 2018, and it used to amaze me that they were actually chummy. I thought, oh, that's an odd couple. I'm not sure that, because back then Hello Starlight did a lot of funny stuff and he was very nasty, and I was like, this is a really unusual pairing. So I don't know if you can kind of get all fired up. The other people on the panel that were going on and on about the BSJ thing with Rep Ash, but it's sort of like, but there's people on the panel that used to be buddies with him too. But that's not, I mean, I can't keep up with who's friends and who's not, and it's all a bit too much. But what I wanted to talk about was, because like I said, it was impossible for me to understand the context. People are friend shaming. Friend shaming. You're friends with her. I mean, look, it's a real thing. I mean, Mel and I are buddies that met on YouTube, but we supported very different creators when we met. In fact, we both probably thought the other person was an idiot for supporting the creators that we were following. But we still managed to become friends. Like who she wants to watch and who I want to watch has never, ever entered the equation. If anything, there are times we kind of joke about it. And we both ended up in a live together the other night. And I was like, oh, this is a first for us to be in this creators channel together. Hey, Veruca. Smiley, thank you for popping in. Thank you so much. I was going to say top of the morning to you because it is really, isn't it? 1:15 a.m. Smiley's cute. We'll have to do some lives around the countryside so Smiley gets to see why a lot of people say that Tasmania's like Ireland. I mean, we're all convict stock. I've got Irish on one side of my family and Scottish on the other. There's a lot of colonial architecture that's very English, very UK. They're very Irish. God, you can't say UK anymore, I don't think, can you? I don't know. I'm not that Ireland's part of it anyway, but yeah, so I just think that it's very strange. Like, look, people can fight and people can fall out and people can have differences of opinion and all that sort of stuff. There is nothing wrong with that. But how nice would it be if there is a big mega panel taking place to actually be able to listen to the two people that have an issue with each other nutting it out? Like, I'm not saying you don't know me at all. Well, I woke up and, as usual, I stupidly put YouTube on, and the first channel in my list of recommendations, I was like, oh, this is on fire. This is lit. There was a panel at that time. I think there were 5 of them, but then it became 6 on TNT's channel. But there's a lot of yelling going on, a lot of talking over the top of each other, and there were all these friggin' sound effects as well. It was it was a pretty discordant alarm clock, I've got to say. Even Sunny was like, what the fuck is this? Like, she's so the YouTube bloody adjudicator of all things. Yeah, when people say they're going to mute and then they don't mute. Look, the problem is, part of the problem, God, there's some massive trucks around today. This one turning here, but there's a huge one behind me too. And then there was another one that just went past me before. Talking about discordant noises. But look, it's been part of the problem of YouTube from the very start is that there are some people that just love the sound of their own voice. And they weigh in on shit that you kind of like, is this even your issue to get so bloody angry and fired up about? Like, how does this impact on you? Could you maybe let the people involved talk about it and you just mute? I think people could take it offline and work it out without the peanut gallery, or alternatively, control your panel and say, okay, first in the ring, so and so and so and so, and then let them nut it out without all this other stuff going on, because I couldn't work out what's going on. And I'm definitely not on any sides here. Like, Republican Ash dropped into my live for the first time the other day ever. It was weird. I had a few people pop in. I'm like, God, these are people I've been watching and listening to on YouTube forever. And for some reason, they were in my little drive the other day. It was quite funny. It made me laugh. But, you know, Hello Starlight's clearly fucked off about something, and she could well be entitled to be. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the story is because I couldn't hear anyone finish a sentence, and I definitely couldn't hear Rep Ash. Like, I thought, well, she's holding her own. She's got all these women yelling at her, and chat were being pretty fucking intense too. And just on that, I can't stand chats where moderators weigh in on discussions and arguments and are horrible too. Like, maybe I'm a bit of a square, but when I was moderating for channels, I never put my personal opinion about people that were up on panel. In fact, I used to say to everyone, respect who's up on the panel, but yeah, it really bugs me out when you see moderators that are equally as vicious in the chat. It just adds to the whole bloody nightmare that panel was. And I think if someone's brave enough to take a link and get up there to discuss things, then at least let the people involved discuss each issue one at a time, and everyone else just take a back seat. Like, what are you doing up there? Maybe say, look, I actually want to watch this from chat, or I will mute myself and keep it muted. But it's fucking chaos. It's absolute chaos. And I really think Repash was holding her own. I mean, I don't know if I'd be putting my hand up to take a link and jump up on a panel when there's going to be 5 people screaming at me all at once. I reckon that's a pretty ballsy thing to do. I have to give her credit for that. But I also, you know, respect that there are obviously people that are upset, and why they're upset is valid to them. But how's it going to get resolved? I mean, I barely heard Hello Starlight even talking, and yet I think it was at that point, I think he actually jumped off the panel while I still had the live playing. But it's not the first channel. I'm not criticising TNT. It's not the first time this has happened, guys. Like, we've seen it so many times. I mean, Diane's channel was almost famous for that on resolution nights. Some poor sucker would be up there trying to defend themselves, and there'd be Diane and Wendy and maybe Randy and some other person, and it was equally as frustrating to watch it. But I think as creators, if you're going to host this sort of panel, you've got to set some ground rules, and your other panelists have to be respectful of those ground rules and abide by them, you know. How that was possibly going to resolve anything on, and why anyone, maybe they don't want it to resolve. Maybe that's the, you know, that's the thing. I mean, I used to wonder why Diane's channel allowed that kind of fuckery to happen too, while calling it a resolution night. So you can't resolve anything if people can't be given a voice. I don't think anyone actually finished a sentence, like in terms of Hello Starlight and Repash. I don't think either of them were even able to finish sentences, or if they did, there were so many other people weighing in at the same time that whatever they were trying to say was lost. Yeah, Diane's channel put me to sleep too. Well, I mean, I didn't even stick around long enough to fall asleep. At the time, I was like, I've got enough menopausal women in my life, in my real life. That's just the age we're all at right now. I don't need to listen to some more on YouTube. But I found them difficult to listen to, and there's been other channels that have had chaotic panels too. I'm not limiting my comments to what happened this morning at all. Yeah, they don't know how to debate. Exactly. They don't. And, you know, sometimes you think, well, these things could be discussed offline between people and, you know, let them sort it out. But the thing is, I guess, you know, channels like the drama, and they want the audience, and the audience was over 300 people watching it, but a lot of the people in chat were also weighing in on it, including the moderators, and I don't like that either. I never have. I think it's fucked when you've got mods that are blocking people that are genuinely just asking questions about the things that are being discussed, or, you know, and they're bashing the crap out of someone who's up on the panel. I think that's disgusting as well. You know, if you're a creator, I think it's not just how your panel guests behave, but it's also how your mods behave. I mean, sure, if someone in chat's having a go at another mod, um, argue all you want to, but you can't then go, well, I've got to rent your timed out or blocked now. Like, if you're picking a fight and someone bites back, you can't just then block them. It's fucking crazy. It was chaos, man. It was chaos. Oh, Jason Callan, you're eating Wagyu beef, you lucky bugger. Yum. At this hour of the morning? Wow. That is luxury, man. That is a luxury breakfast. But don't forget, guys, I will be pulling up in a car park soon and I'll be able to, I don't know how to get to where I'm going now that they've changed the roundabouts. It's been a while since you guys have come this way. Wait till you see the wacky little roadwork adventure we're about to go on. But I don't know how to get over to Cambridge Park. We may have to go right down to the Acton Park turn off and double back. But yeah, don't forget to ride in cabs. I mean, once I pull up, it doesn't matter, but I can't. And obviously, right now, I'm focusing on the road. The traffic's. I'll see if any of you can spot the changes up here. It's very different. I drove through here the other night. I went into town on Friday night to catch up with some friends of mine who were over from New Zealand. They're Tasmanians who live there now. And I came because I've been driving to work that different way. So this is the first time I came this way for a long time. And I was like, oh, this is quirky. I've been driving out of town this way, but not into town. It's going to be awesome when it's finished. But already, even with this weird little thing that they've got set up, the traffic's flowing so much better. I did read chat to them. My plan is to show you every millimetre of Tasmania. Well, maybe not every millimetre, but as much of it as I can. Oh, you would have, Dan? Yeah, Ingham's is back in Sorrel where we just were. Yeah, I've got to work out how to get to Cambridge Park. This will be interesting. Hopefully this car in front of me will lead the way. I think we actually just go the way we normally would go. But yeah, look straight ahead that way. Like it's all a wiggly, snaky thing now. That was easy as piss. Didn't have to do anything. Maybe I should have taken you the wiggly, snaky way. I love roadworks because it means that eventually when they're finished, the roads are going to be so much better. And I also love how many people get employed to do roadworks. People complain about the delays. It's like they advertise fucking everywhere. Even if you put your GPS on, it'll tell you there's roadworks, expect delays. If people can't add an extra 15 minutes to their trips to factor that in, it's on them, right? Oh, I'm stuck in traffic. I was late for work. Yeah, well, it's on the news. It's in the paper. It's online. There's fucking apps. I love roundabouts. They make traffic flow. That bloody panel this morning needed a roundabout. It was chaos. Chaos, I tells you. Yeah, the causeway is so beautiful, Dan. Like, when I was driving into work to go in this way before the roadworks got really crazy and the traffic was like 2 hours almost to get to town, I was like, are you kidding me? When it's normally like 35 minutes. Yeah, you can move over, dude. This is two-way. Thank you. Um, um, but when you drive over the causeways in the morning and you have this glassy, like still water reflecting all the trees, and oh my God, and the clouds. And the other morning when I was driving in, a pelican just came in and landed on the water, and all the water sprayed up. And it was like, this is just the most beautiful thing to see when you're driving to work. Like, how on earth you could get to work and not have a good day after witnessing nature like that. Oh my God. But I also love it when the causeways are really rough and stormy and there's water flying across them. And I love it when it gets a little bit crazy. Good. And people who complain about them, seriously, some people just want to complain about something. I guess I could put myself in that group because I'm complaining about panels of chaos. But fuck me dead, the one this morning, I was like, right, I've got to say something. Because I think if people do have valid issues, like, whatever's gone down between Hello Starlight and Republican Ash, if there's a chance for them to talk it out, even if they don't stay friends or whatever, and they don't want to do it behind the scenes, well, look, you do what you got to do, right? But can you maybe let the people that have these problems with each other? Oh, it's going to have the sun in the screen. Hang on, I'll do a little. The shop I'm going to is just tomorrow left. Well, it was, but I'm just going to park over here. But not with the sun on my. There was shiploads. Did you see it? Did you see it? That's where we're going, or where I'm going. I'm not taking you in with me. I've got very specific things I need to get, and I need to concentrate. Hey guys, I had a really suspicious charge on my debit card, my main debit card, where my salary goes, and the National Australia Bank, God bless them, picked it up and blocked my card, which is great because it meant I didn't have my money taken out of my account. But it's also the biggest pain in the ass because there are things that, like, I'd paid for, like parking on Friday night, and when they went to take my payment, they couldn't because the card's been blocked. So now I'm getting all these phone calls and emails and text messages. But I've got to say, good on the National Australia Bank for spotting it. And it was a 58-cent transaction. And I sort of went, 58 cents, wow. And they were like, well, no. They do what they do is they get the card and they do a tester to see if it's active and if it works. And that's when they start going nuts with it. And I said, oh, no, I'm not knocking the amount, but I just think it's not very smart on their behalf because that's probably why you guys weren't alerted to it because it was such a weird amount. You did the circle. I've been stuck on a roundabout up on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. Let's ask when she's not driving. Okay, what are we asking when I'm not driving? I'm not scrolling much up above that. I'm going to go back down. Personally, Rep is really active behind the scenes. She doesn't think anyone will find out, but of course it does, and it really. But you could say that about fucking everyone on YouTube, except me. I'm not doing this live to point the finger at anyone. Like I said, I do not know the backstory. What my issue is for this live is, how about we have a panel where you actually let people duke it out, have a fight about it, debate it, whatever, and maybe ask the rest of the panel to just wait their turn. That's all I'm saying. And also, how about you let your chat know, and your mods in particular know, that anyone on the panel is to be respected. Respected. I turned New Zealander just for a minute. respected, irrespective of how people feel about that person up on panel. Respect that they're up there and bloody calm your tits, because it was a peanut gallery, like somebody said earlier, and there was just heckling going from the panel, from the chat, and it was chaotic. And what do you get out of it? And why are over 300 people watching it and loving it? Over 300 people today decided that was what they wanted to watch on YouTube. Do you know where I went after I had that traumatic experience this morning? I went to Dodo and I watched a story about a pit bull terrier being rescued, and it was beautiful. That's where I went. I said to a friend of mine, I was chatting to Shanna, and I said, I think I need to go and meditate. And then Sunny came and curled up on top of me and went to sleep. She's so cute. I was like, well, I'm not moving from here for a while. So I watched a couple of little Dodo flicks. Oh, and I watched Sandy Ruchek making one of those awful bloody American things with the mini marshmallows in it that everyone was ambrosia. And everyone was going, oh, I love ambrosia. And I was like, that's just barf in a bowl to me. Bless. Australians do not do mini marshmallows in fucking anything. When I was in Kansas City, Missouri, my host mother made savory salads and then put those little fuckers in. What was that all about? Little baby marshmallows in a salad with cucumber and tomato and shit. And then the other salads, the ones that were like layered jello that had like a layer of tomato in green jello. And that in Australia we call that shit jelly, but what you guys call jelly, we call jam. But like these salads, I mean, they were pretty to look at, but it's like, I don't want carrot sitting in yellow jelly, thank you, or jello. So that's where I went for a bit of therapy. I feel like if I keep watching the drive therapy stream soon, oh, yes, I did say that comment earlier. Oh, we've done that bit, yes. Oh, then you all went a bit anti roundabouts. Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. They stopped your card when you tried to buy. Oh, shit. Oh, no, that would be embarrassing. You're asking me for sound clips? Some voice work? Yes, thank you. You don't know me. Yes. A lot of folks do tons of crap behind the scenes. Discord is the devil. It is. My little group of lads that come in from their little Discord, the gang boys, the gangs, they want me to join their Discord. And I'm like, no, I love you guys, but no. I don't know what the hell I would think I was doing in a Discord with a heap of young Aussies. I think they're mainly Aussies. But yeah, I mean, I bless them for asking me, but I don't know whether they're asking me so they can take the piss. I mean, I don't know. But I'm not going there anyway. Dodo makes me bawl every time too. You saw the ambrosia. I still love listening to her cooking, and I love the banter between her and Frankie and Cute Man. Yeah, there's so many negative channels there are. They're black-hearted. Oh, good, you don't like mini marshmallows either. I hate marshmallow. Hey, Crystal, unless it's exactly, or in a hot chocolate. You don't know me. Yeah, I think. Look, I think if you're a sweet tooth, you don't know me. Morgan, morning, Mel. Good morning. I think the Gang Boys are very cute. They're always lovely when they're in here. When you said this is on fire, this is lit, an awesome notification. But yeah, so that was really all I wanted to discuss about. Hello, Anne-Marie. How you doing, Griver, in lockdown? Or are you still able to go to work? Because you do important work. You are still in lockdown, I think, aren't you guys? I'll tell you what I'm going to go and buy. I'm buying a hose extender to see if I can hose down my windows because having a house on stilts, it's really hard to clean windows. The ones on the deck side of the house, no problemo. The ones on the other side that are 2 stories high without any deck, fucking impossible. Well, not impossible. But if not, I'm going to have to get the guys with the portable scaffold to come back and do it. Oh, you're on holiday. Will you be able to get back home without having to quarantine? You should be able to, right? Oh, bacon and eggs. Nice. Well, Jason Callum was in here earlier and he's having Wagyu beef for breakfast or brunch. So I'm going to see if I can get a hose extender, a power board, an extension cable because I'm setting up my second spare bedroom as a little den for winter. I keep thinking, why do I get home? It's too late in the day to start warming up the house with the heating. Like the heating's amazing, but rather than cranking the massive radiator in the open plan kitchen, living, dining room, the kitchen gets warm just by virtue of the fact that I'm cooking. But I'm like, why don't you heat up the little second spare bedroom and put the TV down there, at least while MasterChef's happening? And it'll still be able to be switched into a spare room, within 10 minutes. But I'm setting it all up because it's like much cheaper to heat up. Not that my heating costs a fortune, but down the track, I'm thinking ahead when I'm a pensioner. It makes way more sense to warm up a small room. My grandfather had a den, and a lot of English houses have rooms that they call snugs because it's just easier to heat them up. I was at dinner. Has he not been to bed yet? Oh, actually, hang on. He's not Australian, is he? I just had sushi Haagen-Dazs next. Oh, yum. Flight got cancelled though, so I have to pick a new day to come back. Better to holiday longer than go. Absolutely, stay there as long as you can. Oh, Mel's angry. She cracked the yolk. Yeah, he's American. I realised that as soon as I saw your comment. I don't know why I thought he was an Aussie for a second. So yeah, hello Starlight. Rapash, this isn't personal because I don't know what your beef is with each other. I can see there's clearly a lot of upset about it. I think that it was unfortunate that you were not given an opportunity to nut it out, and all the other people on panel should have muted themselves, even if they had issues they wanted to discuss. Have an agenda, for fuck's sake. First up, it's hello Starlight and Republican Ash in the ring. And then when it ends, ding, ding, ding. Up next, it's so-and-so and so-and-so. But I don't get why over 300 people found that pleasurable viewing. I don't get why creators allow their mods to be incredibly disrespectful of people on their panel either. And I don't get why mods are allowed to weigh in on the argument and say some pretty horrible shit about the people on the panel. It's just a lack of manners. And look, if it is personal, I mean, in the real world, you wouldn't be bloody broadcasting it. It's not like you'd rent a venue with a stage and stand there and sell 300 tickets and nut it out in front of a heap of strangers, which is basically what that was, right? But I guess there's that whole why settle it offline when we can have a live with over 300 people in it and entertain the fuck out of them. But I don't get who finds it entertaining. They're never going to fix it. It's about 180. Oh, the dude 180. Right. I was one of 300. No, it wasn't pleasurable when I popped my little beaky nose in there either. Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of hurt, clearly, from all parties, possibly. I don't know. Who knows? But, I mean, there's a lot of hypocrisy on YouTube and double standards too. So there's probably people that don't think they've done anything wrong. But it doesn't take away from the fact that why all these other people were weighing in on it, and how you can have 5 people all talking over the top of each other when someone's trying to finish a sentence. And then there were these full-on, like, sounds, like sound effects being played as well, right in the middle of someone trying to speak. I was like, what the fuck is this chaos? Look, to me, a good train wreck is watching a creator having a meltdown and losing their shit, maybe with one other person on the panel with them. That wasn't a train wreck. That was a multiple train collision. It was like 20 train lines all coming into the same station and trains doing full bore on every single one and all just slamming into each other. I didn't find that pleasurable. But don't get me wrong, a meltdown type train wreck, or, you know, a creator losing their shit at somebody else, I'm there. I'm there. Because you can hear what's being said for the most part, unless they go to, you know, the highest octave screaming banshee level of input that's possible, the level right before the sound that only dogs hear, that level. Hey, Carolina. How are you, Groover? I was at a soundboard. I thought it was a little keyboard like the one I've got that does animal noises. It's kind of disrespectful, though, whoever was pressing those buttons, because it was bad enough trying to hear what was being said, listening to human voices without all this other shit going on. It was like one of those mariachi band just suddenly cruised right through the middle of it all. Like there's this bloody hairballs and hair flying and scrapping going on, and then the next thing there's like a mariachi band just cruising through the middle. It was chaos. You ever watch Shanty? No, but I'll make a note. Soundboards. Yes, no soundboards. I agree. That's what it is. It was discordant. It just added to the chaos. Shanty. Oh, I'm up for watching anything new. If they're as batshit as everybody else, bring it on. I'll tolerate it for about 30 seconds and move on. It's a soundboard of Repash. No, I'm sorry. I heard a goat. If Repash going off sounds like a goat, I will eat my beanie. I definitely heard animal noises. I'm sorry. It wasn't just a voice. I mean, and if it was, I probably thought it was her just speaking at the time. Barika is sending us down rabbit holes. Shani, I think she meant. No, don't do it. She's really fucking crazy. She's the worst. Well, it can't be any worse than what I saw this morning. Maybe it can. Shani. I'm going to check it out. Rep Ash calls herself a goat. Well, that's great. I'm a Capricorn. I'm a goat. But it doesn't mean a goat noise in the middle of 5 people yelling over the top of each other at another person who was trying to finish a sentence. It doesn't help that there's a fucking goat noise, whether she calls herself a goat or not. I call myself a fuckwit. If there's a sound effect for a fuckwit, I'd kind of like to have a panel discussion without someone pressing a button of a fuckwit noise or me going, I'm a fuckwit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. That doesn't excuse the soundboard. I'm sorry. If they like playing someone with autism's meltdowns, I agree. Melmo, I don't think they... And that was one thing that blew me away, was the fact that she was ballsy enough to take that link and then literally had 5 adults all screaming at her. 5. I mean, there were 4 of them. It was 4 against 1 when I discovered it. And then the next thing, there was another person up there. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Another person to weigh in. Called Shani for Christ. Oh, okay. Look, I'll listen to it. I need a laugh. Will it make me laugh for a few minutes? I mean, I don't need a laugh. I'm in a great mood, but Have a look at this day, you know. Oh, look at this cute little couple. I love the oldie couples. They make my heart melt, especially if they hold hands. I'll be like, oh my God, you're gorgeous. They wouldn't have been watching that YouTube chaos this morning. Oh, on their little tracksuits. They're so cute. Veruca's definitely sending me down a rabbit hole. I'm game. It gives me someone else to talk about. Guys, I've got so much to do today. I've got so much to do. And I'm zooming in with my sissy in Singapore and my other sister. I'm doing some cooking from the Shitty Kitty Kitchen. I've applied for, to go live on Shitty Kitty Kitchen. I forgot it takes 24 hours to get the thumbs up for that, so I can do stuff on StreamYard. So tonight it'll be back on this channel. We're making the chicken skewers that Peeps voted on last week, and an apple semolina tart. Now, I did not like the semolina soup. It turned into a savoury pudding and it made me feel nauseous. I'm hoping this semolina apple tart will be a different story. Did you see they drove their car down 5? What the fuck? Are you talking about this Shani woman? Oh, my God. She needs to be reported. What's funny is I've been on YouTube strike for a few days, and literally the first thing I saw coming back was that panel. Exactly. And you know what? You could literally leave for a year and come back and there'd be that kind of shite happening. It just wouldn't stop. She's loaded up on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doggies. Oh, they're like little this girl just walked past. She's carrying like 5 dog onesies, 5 onesies for dogs. Imagine going to her house to catch up one night and there's these 5 dogs running around in onesies. Oh my God, how cute would that be? See you, Veruca. Thanks for popping in. I'll let you know how I find Shani for Christ. I can't remember the video, Melmo. You have to flick me the link. But yeah, I mean, this is stuff it is a bit broken record. We've been talking about it since we all discovered the YouTubes. But I actually mentioned you earlier when in the live about how you and I have become friends, and who we like on YouTube has never been an issue. We've both had very different, channels that we've favoured, but we've never gone, I'm not going to be your friend because you watch that person. And how fun is it when we do end up on a panel or in a chat together like we did the other night? It's fun. Did you watch the makeup tutorial? Shit, no, I haven't. I will. Fuck, I forgot all about it. Illy, I'll make a note. Illy. No, life gets too crazy for me. If I don't have like every possible thing I need to do in my diary and I get an alert for it, I forget. Thank you for the reminder. I'll add that to the gazillion things I've got to do today because I want to do another. I've got to do another Traces of Sleepy Faces. I've got to record that. That's normally up by midday on Mondays. That won't be happening. I wanted to start recording episodes of my podcast, the Smooth Criminal podcast, but I'm uploading episodes of the Soft Six instead for the moment. Got a family Zoom meeting. I had family visiting from interstate on the weekend and friends of mine over from New Zealand. My weekend was absorbed with social activities. And I've also got to do I still haven't finished that Characters of YouTube. I've got so much to do. And I did the cutest little video. I got the cutest video of Sunny just lushing around on the bed this morning while I gave her a head massage. I want to put that up too. Lynette and Illy. Oh, that'll be gold. Lynette better watch her language. You don't know me. You two ladies are hilarious. Me and Mel? I think so. I like bouncing off Mel on panels and stuff. It's fun. I woke up from a deep sleep to see you guys messing around in chat. Laura snoring put me right out. I didn't hear snoring, I gotta say. I didn't hear any snoring. Oh, you thought you missed a new Soft 6. No, we've gone retro. And after the Soft 6 gets uploaded, I'm going to upload the Soft 34. I'm gradually migrating all that stuff to that channel. So, yeah, because if I can get this bloody scammer to engage a bit more than he is, like I said, I'm going to have triplets, Morgan, Scout, and Ruth. I opened up a chat and they were the first 3 comments in a row, and I was like, they're what the triplets are going to be called. One more cig and then I'm going to go shopping. Stunning. You should have seen her. Oh my God. She was so cute. She is so cute. She looked a little bit pissed off when I said I was going out, but I opened up the enclosure. So she's out in the sun in her enclosure having a lovely time. Morgan's going to freak out. Good. But yeah, so eventually all that scam baiting stuff that we did last year, that'll all end up on Smooth Crim. I couldn't have a triplet called You Don't Know Me. I suppose I could have had one called You. It'd be like, what does the U stand for? It's like, that's just her name. Her name is just the letter U. And they'd be like, that's a bit weird. I'll be like, you got it. Ambrosia is a disgusting salad or mixed bowl of, no, there's ambrosia fans in chat. I'll be kind. Just picture grapes. What was the other fruit she put in there? A couple of fruits. One of them was grapes. Some kind of tub of something American that sounded like it would just be 3,000,000% sugar. Then there was a tub of sour cream, perhaps. Then there was a fucking shitload of those mini marshmallows. Oh, the mandarins, yes. I know, I saw that you spotted biscuit on the when I was cooking the roast chicken out on the deck. There you go, Morgan's. Oh, whipped cream? Is that what that tub of shit was? Whipped cream. Why not just get real cream and whip it? Whip it good, because I bet you that has so much sugar in it. Jello and marshmallows and fruit. Yeah, mandarin oranges. That's so weird you call them that. They're just like in Australia, we've got mandarins and then we've got oranges because mandarins are little, they're small. But you call them mandarin oranges, which is so weird. Like they're just mandarins where we live. And then you've got oranges, which are big. That's right. There was coconut, frozen coconut, grapes, walnuts. I do love me a walnut. Hey, Zero Filter Jules. Welcome, Groover. I'm with Mel Mel. Sounds dodgy. It just sounded sweet and bleh. No, it doesn't. It's nothing like pavlova. It's got hundreds of little miniature marshmallows in it, which when I lived in Kansas City, Missouri, those little fuckers made their way into savory salads as well, or the other repugnant salads that I used to witness at those ladies bring a plate events, especially at the church. People would spend hours making a layered jelly cake or jello. So they'd get like carrots, but they'd use yellow jelly and they'd let that set. And then they'd do a layer of tomato and they'd set it in green. And then they'd do another vegetable and it was all set in different jelly. Ugh, looked pretty, tasted disgusting. I don't like mixing savoury with sweet. So, like, you will never see me make apricot chicken in my kitchen. I'm telling you that right now. Cool Whip, a tub of whipped cream. Well, it's kind of, yeah, meringue, the chewy bit of the meringue has a bit of a marshmallow, but these are like little manufactured marshmallows. They're little, like they're the size of a tooth, and there's hundreds of the little fuckers. And my host mother used to mix it through, like she'd make this sort of ranch salad and then put marshmallows on top of it. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Watergate salad, Google that. Yeah, I thought the ambrosia would have had pineapples. Oh, what have I done? Oh, what have I done? Oh, oh, no.